All right, good job on fire drill, guys. Did a nice job. I appreciate you being quiet out there and doing what we need to do. So let's talk about these Zing candy bars in this experiment. So, according to the story, a candy called Zing was developed, and they couldn't decide on a color for the wrapper. So they conducted a test, okay, to see which one buyers liked best. They made 8,000 candy bars. All were 100 grams. They wrapped them 2,000 in red wrappers, 2,000 in blue, 2,000 green, 2,000 in brown. All the bars were sold for 75 cents and had the same shape. They were placed in the same store display, and the results are shown in the data table. Okay, so if we think about this experiment, raise your hand if you could tell me, what is the independent variable in this experiment? Natalia?
It's the wrapper candy. Wrapper candy.
It's the wrap. What specifically about it?
The color.
The color. It's the color of the wrapper. Yes. You didn't see that. So the color of the wrapper is what they changed. That's the one thing they're testing. That's the thing that was different in their 4 groups. What was the dependent variable in this experiment? Dependent variable, okay?
Like, kind of water.
Yeah, the number sold. That's the data they were collecting. They collected data on how many of each color were sold. How about some of the variables that they had to hold constant in this experiment? Jordan, give me one.
Right?
What?
The colors.
No, the colors were different. So remember, variables held constant are the things you try to keep the same. Lindsay?
Same store.
Same store. Casey?
Type of candy.
Same type of candy. Emily?
Same size.
Same size. Avery? Same what?
The same place.
They were in the same place, Madeline?
Same amount sold.
No, not the amount sold, because that was different for each group. They made the same number of them, okay? So there's lots of things. That's lots of things they held constant.
I was gonna say they each had 100.
Ryan, where's your notes?
I left them at home when I was asleep.
You need to get another copy then and write these down. There's a copy in the drawer here. Yes.
Isn't the 100 grams the same thing?
Yep, there would be also the 100, how big they were. All right, so here's our new information, our new stuff we need to talk about. Observations and inferences. So we talked in our question today that an observation, information we take in with our senses. We may use tools, we may use our sense of sight or hearing and so forth, but using senses, using tools to gather information. And we have 2 categories of observations that we need to know about. They're called quantitative observations and qualitative observations. So they sound similar, so sometimes people might get confused. But the word quantitative, what word do you see in there? What word is in there? Quantitative, or almost in there. Avery? Quantity. What is a quantity? It's a quantity. Aiden?
The amount of items you have.
Yeah, it's like the amount of something. A quantitative observation is any observation that has a number with it. Okay? Often made a tool. If I measure, the length of a mouse's tail, and it's 6 centimeters, that's a quantitative observation. If I say there are 13 snails in the tank, that is a quantitative observation. If it has a number with it, it's quantitative. If I say Mr. Arcuri weighs 100 kilograms, that's a quantitative observation. If I say not much of that is muscle, that is not a quantitative observation. That would be our next category. So a qualitative, what word do you see there? Qualitative. Jordan?
Quality.
Quality. Just a description. It's not numerical. say the lightning was bright, that is a qualitative observation. If I say the shirt is blue, that is a qualitative observation. So they don't have a number with it. So that's our two different types of observations. Then we have this idea of an inference, and you guys talked about this in our question today. An inference is kind of like an assumption that you're making based on known facts or based on observations. So it's not something you directly observe, but it's something you think based on what you are observing. So if you come out of a movie theater and you see that the ground is wet, what kind of inference might you make? That it rained while you were in the movie. Even though you didn't see it rain, you didn't hear it rain, you can make that inference based on seeing that the ground is wet. If I say Mr. A has a lot of gray hair, is that an observation or an inference?
Observation.
Is it quantitative or qualitative? Qualitative. Saying Mr. A has a lot of gray hair. What would an inference one might make then? If Mr. A has a lot of gray hair. Okay?
He's old.
That he's an old man. Yeah. What is that? Is that an observation or inference? Inference.
Are you doing a video?
If I say Mr. A frequently has a frown on his face, quantitative or qualitative observation? Qualitative. So what would be an inference we might make about that? Avery? He's sad. He's always in a bad
He
mood.
doesn't like his students.
But if I say Mr. A's head is only 63% covered in hair, what is that? Okay?
Wait, 63% is covered in there?
Yeah.
Half of his head is hair, has hair.
Well, what is that though? When I say 63%, Emily, what type of observation? Quantitative or qualitative? Quantitative, correct. Okay. All right. So let's look at another scenario. You walk into the gym on Friday morning, the bleachers are cluttered with paper cups, food wrappers, and the scoreboard still lit up. It reads Spartans 47, visitor 35. All right, so are these statements observations or inferences? There was a basketball game last night. Observation or inference? I want to hear I want to see some new hands, some new participants to our discussion today. Yeah? Yeah, we didn't actually see the game, but we're assuming there was one based on this other information. The scoreboard is lit up. Miranda?
Observation.
Yeah, that's an observation. You can see that. There were many people there. Alexandria?
Inference.
That's an inference. Paper cups are in the bleachers. Aaron?
Observation.
That's an observation. Okay? So let's a little bit. Oh, we're going to skip this. Well, let's do one.
Oh.
Somebody give me an observation that you can observe based on this wonderful drawing. Jordan? Is that an observation? What is that? That's an inference. Give me an observation. Emily? There's smoke coming out of the chimney. Who could give me an inference that's based on that? Kai?
The fireplace on.
That the fireplace is on. They have a fire in the fireplace. Yeah. All right. You don't have to. Let's just, a couple more. Give me one observation about this photograph here. Observation. Casey?
The tank is standing on its head.
Yeah, the tank is on its front, it's balanced on its front side, I guess we call it. What it would be an inference you might make from this diagram? Lindsay? There was an accident. Okay, we don't see that, but that would be a fine inference. How about an observation from this picture of Mr. Arcuri and his friends? What's an observation that you could make based on this picture? Alexander?
It looks like it's like that.
Is that an observation? That's an inference. Give me an observation. Lindsay? Yeah? That guy's wearing a zebra skirt, zebra print skirt. Another observation from this picture? Madeline?
They're happy.
Observation or inference?
That's not
That is?
no, it's not.
Give me an observation that you made that inference from. What do you observe that may have told Madeline that they're happy? Lindsay?
They all have their hands in the air and they seem to be like jumping.
Hands are in the air.
I just see a smile on his face, that boy's face.
Is a smile on his face? That would be an indication they're happy. Again, we can't like observe someone's mood, but we could make an inference about it based on things we observe. All right. Observation about this. Observation. Aiden?
This polar bear is bouncing on two ledges.
Okay. How about an inference based on this? Casey?
The polar bear is flat.
Okay. What did you base that observation on? I mean that inference on? Or is that an observation? What would you say? I'd say observation. Alexandria?
Is it Alaska?
Okay, that's a what is that? That's an inference. Good. Observation. Kyle? There's a big truck on a smaller truck, okay. Inference, Kate?
Car. The person just got out of the car before. The person just got out of the car before the big truck hit it.
Okay. All right, I think we have this. Do you need to review any further? So on your test on Friday, one of the things you're going to have to know is the difference between a quantitative and a qualitative observation, and also the difference between observation and inference. All right, let's do one more though. Let's skip through this for now. I like this one. All right. So if you look at this photograph that Mr. Arcuri took, let's make some observations or inferences. This is his pastime. He dresses up his pets with different types of fruit and takes pictures and posts them online and gets people's discussion going on. This cat's wearing a line on its head. Observation or inference? Avery?
Observation.
Observation. The cat's going on a motorcycle ride. Lindsay? Inference. The cat likes eating the lines. Kyle? Inference. Somebody put a lime on the cat's head. Natalia? Can you see it? You see somebody putting it on there?
No.
No, you're assuming that, right?
But you just told us that.
Well, I told you, but you didn't observe it.
But we heard it.
Maybe I wasn't telling the truth.
Well,
Maybe this isn't really his pastime.
you know you want to get back from him putting you as a mad scientist on the test.
Yeah. So somebody put a lime on the cat, that's an inference. The lime is green, Emily. Observation.
It's an infant's
Why? Oh, because yours is black and white, yeah. The cat likes wearing a lime helmet. Guy? Inference. Doesn't look too happy about it. Cat's going to take the helmet off. In? Inference. Alright.
Whoa.
Another one, Mr. Arcurious. Shots.
How many pets does he have?
What?
How many pets does he have?
He has a few cats and a dog, but then he borrows other people's and he weaves like a soup out of banana peels, or sometimes he like hollows out cantaloupe and poses them in it. He's got a lot of different things he does.
He totally does that.
And what?
I've got 24 dogs in my house.
Wow. There's this pumpkin picture. Again,
At the same time.
again, just something he does for fun.
Can
Alright.
you do that to my cat?
No.
My cat has a mustache.
Really?
It
Interesting.
does. Pepper.
My mom's coworker has one of those baby cats that has a fur.
But then
So bad, these
no.
cats.
That's new.
Alright.
Tom and Joe are my best friends.
So let me give you your homework to work on.